AI agents are about to completely change the game for our economy. And I'm not just talking about cool new tools. We're talking about autonomous systems that are actually designed to act for us, buying, selling, even negotiating on our behalf. And this isn't some sci-fi fantasy set way off in the future. This is happening like right now. We're standing right on the edge of what some are calling an agentic economy, where machines handle more and more of our transactions. But this whole shift, it brings up a massive question. I mean, are these super logical machines going to make everything more uniform, more efficient? Or will all our weird human quirks, our biases, and our personalities just find a brand new way to bubble up to the surface? Well, a really fascinating new study from the University of Chicago and the University of Michigan decided to find out. To get to the bottom of this, the researchers came up with this brilliant experiment. They wanted to see what happens when you take a classic human thing, like a negotiation, and just hand it off to an AI agent. Okay, so here's the setup. It's a pretty straightforward negotiation over a used car, a Toyota Camry. The seller, they're not going any lower than 18 grand. And the buyer, they won't pay a penny over 22 grand. So that leaves $4,000 of pure profit on the table, right? A bargaining surplus. Participants were told to write up instructions, a playbook really, for their AI agent to either buy or sell that car. And here's what's really cool about the instructions they had to write. They weren't just giving a simple command like offer $20,000. No, they were taught to create a flexible, strategic guide, basically a general game plan that their AI could use to adapt and react as the negotiation unfolded. Of course, the researchers needed something to compare this to, right? A baseline. So, they also ran the exact same negotiation with humans just talking directly to other humans. The big question was, how would the outcomes look when you let the AIs take over? And this right here, this visual, it perfectly captures the study's central finding. Just look at this. The chart on top, that's the human negotiations. See that giant spike right in the middle? Now, look at the bottom chart for the AIs. You'd think it would be more uniform, but no way. The AI-led negotiations were way more unpredictable, with the final prices scattered all over the place. In fact, if you run the numbers, the outcomes from the AI agents had a 16.5% higher variance than the deals made by humans. So instead of smoothing things out, the AI agents actually made the results more extreme, more spread out. And here's the real kicker. This wasn't just some random AI weirdness. A staggering 73% of that huge variation could be explained simply by who wrote the instructions. In other words, who you are as a person directly determined how well your AI performed. Okay, this is where it gets really, really interesting. The AI didn't just mirror our human differences. In some cases, it actually transformed them and even magnified them. Let's see how. So the researchers found that this whole range of human characteristics could systematically predict how successful an AI agent would be. Your personality, your gender, your past negotiation experience, even just how much time you put into writing the prompt, all of it had a measurable impact on the AI's performance. But you gotta see the most jaw-dropping finding of all. In the human-to-human talks, the study confirmed what a lot of other studies have found. Female sellers tended to make less money than male sellers. But what happened when those exact same people handed the job over to their AI agent? Well, the gap didn't just vanish, it completely flipped. It totally reversed. Women's AI agents started outperforming men's, even though the AI had absolutely no idea if its user was male or female. Crazy, right? Okay, so what in the world is going on here? Why are the AIs producing these wild, amplified results? Well, the researchers point to two big reasons. First off, social norms. For us humans, they kind of act like guardrails. In the human negotiations, more than a third of the deals ended in a simple, fair 50-50 split of that $4,000. But the AI agents, they pretty much ignored that idea of fairness. Only about 14% of their deals landed on that midpoint. Without that social pressure to be nice, the outcomes just got way more extreme. Now, the second reason has to do with a totally new skill the researchers identified, and they're calling it machine fluency. Basically, it's how good you are at translating your goals into instructions an AI can actually run with. The study suggests this is a brand new, almost hidden type of skill, and some people are just naturally better at it than others, which creates this prompting gap. And that prompting gap leads to another new problem they call specification hazard. Just think about it like a boss giving really vague instructions to an employee. Your prompt is sort of like a contract with your AI, but it's never going to be perfect, right? It's always incomplete. And that creates a risk that the agent isn't perfectly aligned with what you really want, leading to all sorts of unexpected results. So let's pull back for a second. What does all of this really mean for our future in this new agentic economy? The implications are actually pretty huge. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, we've seen that AI agents don't get rid of our human differences. They inherit them. And in some cases, they crank them up to 11. And as those social norms like fairness start to fade away in machine-to-machine deals, we could see more extreme winner-take-all outcomes. This could mean whole new kinds of inequality might pop up, based not on old-school skills, but on how good you are at talking to machines, your machine fluency. At the end of the day, our AIs are becoming a really high-definition reflection of us. So as we start delegating more and more of our lives to these autonomous systems, systems that are shaped by our own hidden traits and unspoken biases, it really forces us to stop and ask a pretty deep question. Who or what is actually in control?